As the volleyball team's regular season has come to the end, the team has had trouble keeping their foot on the gas. That has led to the team being cold as of late, just like the weather right now. So I'm going to send the ball over the net to Phil Papour to see if the team could turn up the heat and get their foot back on the gas before playoffs start.
Thanks, Kyle. It's officially playoff time for the Point Park volleyball team. The Lady Pioneers ended the regular season this past Tuesday, November 4th against NCAA Division II, Shippensburg University. The Pioneers came into the match having lost 4 of their previous 6 matches, with one of the wins being by forfeit. The Lady Pioneers came out and won a tightly contested first set, 26-24, but they could not keep up the momentum. The Pioneers quickly cooled off, losing the second and third sets by scores of 14-25 and 15-25 respectively. The Pioneers were able to regroup in the fourth set and made a good run at forcing the match into a fifth set. However, Shippensburg was able to hold on and take the match by winning the fourth set 25-22. With that loss, Point Park finished the season with an overall record of 24-15 and a KIAC record of 8-2. The KIAC tournament begins this Friday, November 14th, and the tournament will be held here at Point Park. The Lady Pioneers enter the tournament as the number 2 seed, and they will receive a first-round bye along with the tournament's number 1 seed, Asbury. In the quarterfinals this Friday, 3-seed IU Kokomo will take on 6-seed Rio Grande. Then in the 4-5 matchup, IU Southeast faces off against IU East. No matter how these opening round games go, Point Park will face one of the Indiana University branches. During the regular season, Point Park swept IU Southeast, and the Pioneers also beat IU Kokomo in 5 sets. However, the Pioneers did lose to Indiana East in 5 sets. This was one of the 2 losses the Pioneers suffered in conference play. All of the work the Pioneers have put in this season has been leading up to this tournament, and you can bet Coach Bruno will have the team ready to perform. This is a great opportunity for the Pioneers to take advantage of the opening round bye and home tournament advantage to go for the conference championship. During the regular season, the Pioneers went 11-1 at home, and being able to play their playoff games here at Point Park will be a huge benefit to the team. For Point Park, the playoffs begin this Saturday in the Student Center Gymnasium.
Now, Phil, I obviously have to ask, what do you make of this team's struggles as of late? I mean, they've only won 1 game in their past 5 matches.
Yeah, I'd have to say it's not looking very good for this Point Park team. The only thing that's working for them now is earlier in the season they had the great stretch where they won all of the games in the row and then they had a huge break. I think that break killed their momentum, but I think this week and a half between the Shippensburg game and the start of conference championship play, I think will be a huge benefit. I think it'll give them time to relax, kind of think things over, get good practices in, and I think they'll be able to bounce back and use the bye to get ready for their second round game to really go for it this championship.
Well, that leads to my next question. How do you think they're going to do in this conference tournament?
Realistically, I do think they'll do well. I think they can get through the semifinals, and I think they can get to the championship. They did lose to Indiana East, but like I said, most likely they will be playing IU Kokomo or Indiana Southeast, and they did beat both of those teams during the regular season, so I think they have a great chance to make it to the conference championship.
Now, who are some players you think are going to stick out for the Pioneers and that kind of need to step their game up?
Well, realistically, Kyle, I'd say that the whole team needs to really step up their game. I think the problem with Point Park is they start off a lot of matches really well, and they open up really strong and take the first set, but I think they kind of sit back and relax after winning the first set, which is why I think they end up giving away so many matches. So I think it's really on the whole team, but I'd say it's really up to the seniors, Olivia Fisher and Roxanne Grunmeyer, to really hold the team down, to take lead, take charge, and make sure the rest of the team knows how important these games are.
Now, do you think they have a good chance to win the conference tournament, or do you think the struggles are going to continue?
It's hard to say because really the only team that I think gives them trouble is Asbury, so I think they can get to the championship game. They did lose that heartbreaker to Asbury at the end of the regular season in November, but I really think that I think they do have a chance. I think they want revenge. I think they're going to get through the semifinals, and I think they're going to give Asbury a run for their money.
Now, Phil, if they do win the conference tournament, do you think they can make a deep run at nationals?
It's tough. I'd say this team has a lot of heart, but with the way they've been playing recently, I think it will be a struggle to win the conference tournament. I think it's something they can do, but I honestly don't see a very deep run in the NAIA tournament, Kyle.
Thanks, Phil. In national news, we'll start off in Arizona again this week, where the first-place Cardinals lost their starting quarterback for the year. Carson Palmer tore his ACL on Sunday in the fourth quarter of the Cardinals' 31-14 victory versus the St. Louis Rams. Palmer hurt this same knee in 2006 when he was playing for the Bengals, and this injury happened against the Pittsburgh Steelers in a playoff game. On Friday, Palmer signed a 3-year, $50 million extension with the Cardinals. Coach Bruce Arians believes their backup Drew Stanton can still lead this team to the Super Bowl. Also in the NFL, Santa Clara District Attorney's Office said it will not be charging San Francisco 49ers defensive end Ray McDonald with domestic violence. The Santa Clara District Attorney Lindsay Walsh said the reason for this is because there is conflicting versions of the event, a lack of viable eyewitnesses, and a significant lack of cooperation from Jane Doe. He was arrested on August 31st for felony domestic violence charges after an incident that occurred at his home in San Jose. From pro football, we go to college football, where one of the top players in college football will make his return to the lineup this week. Georgia junior running back Todd Gurley returns this week after being suspended for 4 weeks. He was suspended for receiving $3,000 for autographing memorabilia for over 2 years. This week, the Bulldogs will take on the Auburn Tigers. Gurley was the top Heisman candidate before he was suspended. While this week in college football, there was a lot of big games, including number 12 Baylor beating number 15 Oklahoma 48-14. Then unranked Texas A&M was able to beat Auburn 41-38. Number 6 TCU beat number 7 Kansas State 41-20, and Arizona State beat Notre Dame 55-31 in another top 10 matchup. This upcoming week will be a big one for 2 top 5 teams in the SEC conference facing off. This matchup will have number 1 ranked Mississippi State Bulldogs going to take on number 5 ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. After the break, it was a meltdown in New York as the Steelers lost to the Jets in a devastating game. Now the Penguins are on a roll as Tyler Jetski will have regional sports